I had a second image, that was the Three Worlds image. And the first movement was 4 distinct levels. This has 3 levels, which is the underworld, right, under the water, what's on the surface, which is the leaves, and then what's above the surface. There's almost like these 3 realities that are being grappled with.
The realism that has that same element of like, where are we? Is that fish in the foreground? Is that fish in the background? What am I supposed to be paying attention to? And then as your eyes scan, they can't always really settle on what to pay attention to. So you find yourself kind of going through the image.
You know, unlike the first movement, the second movement is more about subtlety. Subtle blends of the bassoon in specific registers with 1 to 2 instruments at a time. So we start in this submerged section musically of the piece, very much the underworld, solo bassoon, low register. The bassoon is just sort of like coaxing the listener into this experience, and then gradually different colors come in that are very subtle.
As a bassoonist, I'm always loving a moment to be heard by myself. And so the second movement opens with that moment. The murkiness and the darkness that's there in the water, emotionally, I'm trying to draw on that very much at the beginning.
We gradually work our way through the submerged section to climbing, this ascending thirds line, which is ascending up into the trees. And eventually, once we get into the trees, we hear the birds.
Not elegant bird song, but these kind of dinosaur birds. I think the bassoon has kind of a long history of evoking ancient and primal sounds, and there's some moments for that.
And then we get into the leaves descending. So again, you're getting a sense of the arc of this piece, just like the first movement, but it creates more of this kind of shape, whereas the first movement created this kind of shape, right, in terms of register. And the end of the piece is back into the submerged underwater section, and so we end in actually lower, on a lower pitch than we begin on with the bassoon in the second movement.